that is like everything. In my opinion, that is what social media is for. All right. Hello and welcome to episode 76 of Yellow Color Classes. This is our first solo episode. So we had some scheduling conflicts come up today with some of our guests. And so a lot of the times if that happens, we will, organize a couple people within the agency to come on and talk about things that we still think are really important that need to be talked about on the podcast. But I thought, you know what? We have never done a solo podcast before. So let's take this opportunity and let's do a solo podcast. So first things first, of course, let's start out with a review. This is from Shelby Z. Shelby says, Mikayla was great to work with. Listened to our concerns, explained everything in thorough detail, and even sent a screen record video with everything comparing our previous insurance to the new one she gave us. She saved us $100 per month switching from USAA to Warren & Mounts for our car insurance. I highly recommend at least getting a quote from any of them and see if they can help save you money. Always great to support people in our hometown. So thank you so much for that, Shelby. Yes, I went to high school with Shelby and completely agree. It's actually one of the main points of this podcast is to get, local businesses on so that we can talk to them and allow them to share their story, their products, their services, and allow us to pull clips so that we can promote them. And yeah, we also get content from it. So it's kind of a win-win. Next, let's jump into our peak and our pit. So something that's going really well for me. On the last episode that I was on, which I think may have been 2 episodes ago, I have been very much looking forward to jumping back into a routine for the last, 45 to 60 days of 2023. It was very much like either drinking or traveling or eating poorly and not working out. It was just a lot of that. And that's great. There's a time and space for that. But now it's time to get refocused, get back on track. I love having my health and wellness on point. It makes me feel so good. So to be back in a routine is so amazing. I've been waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, been getting to the gym by 5:30 to 5:45. And yeah, I just love it. 10 out of 10 would recommend waking up early and getting your day going. I told Jake one day, this is a while back, I was like, whenever I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I literally feel like I'm living 4 days in one day. It's awesome. So a pit for me right now is I am really trying to navigate developing better content for the Warren & Mounts agency page. I really want it to be more visually appealing, and so I think I've addressed this before, but like our lighting in here is not really the greatest. It's good, but it's not great, and I would love to get that better on point. And then another thing is I'm trying to, again, make them more visually appealing, but with that obviously comes a learning curve. So I'm trying to learn new things. So it's taking me longer. So I'm getting backlogged on all the other things that I have going on. So it's just kind of a bump in the road. I'm going to figure it out. I really pride myself on efficiency. I feel like I'm a very efficient person with my workflow. But that is not possible right now because I don't know what I'm doing. So I need to get that figured out, and then as I develop habits with it, I will become more efficient, and it will just all around be better for everybody. So anyway, so on this episode, I wanted to talk a little bit about self-care and taking care of yourself and mental health and things like that. I feel like for I feel like it's such a prevalent conversation like in society right now with social media kind of blowing up in that realm. And I feel like it's so important, and I don't think it has to be like as cheesy as people make it out to be. Um, take what's yours and then leave the rest. Like everything that I say is not going to be applicable to you because we are not the same people. I don't share the same interests as everybody else in the world. I have very specific interests for myself that I find attractive. And my intention in sharing this stuff with you is for you to just get some inspiration from it. Like, if you love riding horses and you think, oh man, I haven't done that in so long or so many years, maybe I will say something that just kind of sparks that for you. I'm not interested in horses, but maybe someone is. Maybe that is something that is kind of therapeutic for you. So anyway, first question is, what does self-care mean to you? To me, self-care is identifying the things that make you feel like most you. So the things that make you feel good about you, the things that make you feel like you are, spreading the very best version of yourself to your kids, your family, your friends, just everybody in your life and your work. That's what self-care means. And it doesn't have to be like, I don't know, it just doesn't have to be as cheesy. Like, that's just what it is. I feel like it's kind of like a stem, or it's like a deeper dive into confidence. I feel like with confidence, like you have to like take care of yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to really understand, your ticks and what makes you tick and the things that make you feel good. So I love this saying, look good, feel good, right? We've all heard that. And then I kind of like added my own little twist onto it. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you do good. If you do good, you are good. So it's just kind of one of those things. And looking good means something different for everybody. Like, it doesn't, I'm a very, like, I love makeup and I love skincare and I love hair and I love, all the things, beauty. But not every man and woman is going to think that way. Look good to someone else might mean throwing on some mascara and then, putting your hair up in a bun and running out the door. If that is what makes you feel most beautiful and most authentically you, bitch, you get it. You get it done every day because that's what makes you feel good. So that's exactly what you should do. So that's what it means to me. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what it means to me. What are some of your favorite ways to take care of yourself? Some of my favorite ways to take care of myself. I love to run. Oh my Lord Jesus, I love to run. And I think running is more of a mental thing than a physical thing. So I am implementing more weightlifting into my workouts because like running kind of doubles as like an athletic physical activity. But when I really like think about it, it's for me more of a mental thing. Like, I love my mind whenever I get done running because it's just like nothing there. It's just all like empty. And then there is a little bit of a high that comes with, being all sweaty and having accomplished that. But that's one way that I really love taking care of myself. That's more in the mental space. In the like health and wellness space, I love to I'm not really like a big fan on diets. I don't really get down on diets. If I ever were to do a diet, I would go into it with the intention of only doing it for like an extended period of time, knowing that it's not going to last forever. I'm more of like a lifestyle type person. I love to establish really good habits that will lead me into living a really healthy life. Everybody wants to take care of themselves in such a way where they have the energy to be with their family, to play with the kids, to be active, and I very much want that to be me. And to do that comes with sacrifices. I can't eat Oreos every day of my life, as much as that would be like a fucking dream. I would love that so much. That I can't do that. Like, I have to sacrifice something to live a really good and healthy life. So we meal prep every Sunday. We prep our food for lunches, and then I will usually make fresh dinners at night. So that's usually what we do. A long time ago, we used to do meal prep for dinner and lunch, and that wasn't bad. That's another way that I take care of myself. I'm a very creative person, and so I love anywhere where I can be creative. It's like so much fun. So in the kitchen, obviously, if you like to cook, you know that you can get creative with your food. So, the evening meals that I cook fresh, that's definitely like a way of me taking care of myself, because I can kind of like express my creativity through food. And it allows me to like get focused on something, and not, something that's productive, that's both for me and my husband. So it kind of acts as an act of service to my husband too. So yeah. And then I would say the last thing that I do to take care of myself is I love doing just like sitting down and doing my makeup with a cup of coffee. Speaking of coffee, we're filming this first thing in the morning. I'm surprised I didn't notice that was so far away from me sooner. Yeah, I love sitting down doing my makeup. I have done that for probably like 8 to 10 years now, and it never gets old. It really just doesn't get old. Just sitting down, spending time with myself, and like listening to a podcast, someone that inspires me, or someone that just makes me think, someone that's like thought provoking. I love it so much. I can't express that enough. I love it so fucking much. It's kind of ridiculous. But I know that like wearing makeup every single day of your life is not really the best thing for your skin. So on the weekends, I try to like give my skin a break. But God, sitting down and just like doing my makeup, and like, again, it's a way to like get my creativity out. I can like play in the colors, and I know it doesn't look like I like play in the colors. I feel like normally it's like within reason. Like you don't ever see me with like blue or pink eyeliner. But believe it or not, you can still, even though it doesn't look that different, I still do get in there and play with some different colors and some different palettes. Anyway, again, a different way to like express my creativity to myself and anybody that happens to look at me. You get to see it, but it's like 99.9% for myself. And if you like it, great. There's a lot of people out there that don't agree with wearing makeup, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. Next question. What does mental health mean to you? Mental health to me means being in a space of peace. It doesn't mean happiness, because happiness is fleeting. Happiness comes and goes, but peace is something that we can access willingly every single day, every single moment. It is an opportunity to be at peace with yourself. Anger is fleeting. Anger comes and goes. Sadness is fleeting. Sadness comes and goes. So just having the ability to access peace at any moment in time, that's mental health. Like, you have to like be in such a healthy state that you can intentionally go out of your way to bring peace to yourself. And it's an action, like you have to go out of your way to do it. And for a long time, that was really, really hard. Life gave me a set of circumstances that made me so concerned with the health and well-being of other people. And I'm really grateful for those experiences, because it's now taught me that nothing is more important than me being able to bring that peace and actively seek that peace on my own without the help of anybody else. And whenever you're, getting to that place of peace for yourself, you do not consider anybody else but yourself. And I think the ability to do that every single day only helps you give more to other people, because then you can be intentional with who you're giving it to. I feel like for a long time I was giving attention and energy to people that were just sucking the freaking life out of me, and they weren't offering anything to me, really. So yeah, that's what mental health means to me. It doesn't have to be happiness every single day. It just means peace, where there's no chaos, So I think the first step is just identifying what things bring chaos, like what brings sadness, what brings anger, what brings anxiety, and then what are you willing, out of all those things, what are you willing to cut the fat, cut it all out and distance yourself from those things. And not that you can ever circle back to them, but I think we all should have the ability to get to that space of peace. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Okay, what are some ways you take care of your mental health? Running. I love running. I really do. I love running. I also love walking outside. I love being outside. I love walking outside. I have always just been a bitch that walks around in circles, let me tell you. When I was a kid even, I would literally just want to go, we would call it a walk around the block. Let's go on a walk around the block. The neighborhood I grew up in, there was just 3 streets that were just parallel to each other. And then, this streets going to the front and the back of the neighborhood. And we would just walk in circles, walk around the block. And it was just fucking awesome. I loved it then. I love it now. It is so amazing. I used to not pair it with music, because, back then there was you had to carry a fucking CD with you, a CD set, which is this big. And now we have our cell phones. Something that I am going to try this spring and summer is not walking with music, and just walking and listening to the birds and listening to my neighbor open up their garage door and listen to the kids playing outside, because that's life. And that's what, I don't know. I just want to be more present in that way. But also, I'm about to fuck up some music on my walk as well. I'm never going to let that go. Also, music. That's another great way for my mental health. I love listening to music. I love singing along to music. Again, nothing. Whenever you're, listening to music or singing along or even, playing an instrument, nothing else exists. Because that is purely your focus. So I love that. What are some other ways that I take care of my mental health? I've been on a kick with Housewives recently. I say that for the past year and a half to 2 years, I've been on a kick for Housewives. And I love it for several different reasons. And I feel like these reasons are healthy. A lot of them own businesses. And so you get just a very small sliver of business talk in there. And then there are some women that I feel like all of the women have points where they handle things really, really well. It's actually a healthy way to work things through. And then there's all the chaos that happens and all the toxic and unhealthy things that go on. And I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of in a season of like pulling myself back from that. It's been, all the episodes are airing all this week, and I think I've watched like 15 minutes of one episode, of the 4 or 5 that are going on right now. Because if it's not Housewives, it's just some other like, reality TV. And I've always been into reality TV. Like I've never been much of a movie person. I feel like I've never been one of like for like a TV show, like. But anyway, I feel like I'm becoming more attracted to the idea of pulling myself away from that, just because there is all that chaos and toxic in there. But other ways that I take care of my mental health, I feel like taking care of myself, like the self-care portion, is extremely important to my mental health. Like if I don't get the opportunity to like just spend some time with myself every single morning, I that doesn't sound fun. I am the single most important person in my life. That's like main character energy for sure. And you are the main character in your own life. And so whenever you can effectively take care of yourself, and again, whatever that means to you, maybe that's horseback riding, maybe that's talking to a therapist, maybe that's, going on a walk, maybe that's, I don't know, something where you can just spend time with yourself. That I feel like is really good mental health stuff right there. Really good mental health stuff. And just be, So that's all I have. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. Hopefully, again, this is the very first solo episode any of us have ever done. So definitely more chill, more chillax. Hopefully, yeah. I want to add one more thing to ways to take care of your mental health. I mean, eliminating anybody's opinion, and I mean anybody's opinion. I also love, like, again, with the creativity stuff, I love creating content for social media. I think it's so much fun. I love video editing, and if I can inspire someone to, pick up that painting that they did so many years ago and they just don't do it anymore. If me taking care of myself inspires someone else to like seek that within themselves, that is like everything. In my opinion, that is what social media is for. Social media is not for you to get online and bitch about your life and bitch about politics and this, that, and the other. Social media, in my opinion, should be used to inspire each other, cheer each other on. It's such a great way to stay connected. We were never able to stay so connected, a long time ago, and now we have that capability. So to cheer each other on, whatever that means, if you're going to school to be a doctor, or if you're in the middle of opening up a business, like, fuck yeah, that's some fuck yeah energy for sure. And I'm cheering you on from afar, and if you want it, get after it. And don't, we just can't care about the opinions of others. We just can't. We don't have space for that. I know so many people that are, that judge the things that I do, like the choices that I make, and that's fine. They're entitled to their opinion, and I'm entitled to mine, and I'm also entitled to not give a shit. So, anyway, again, this is the first solo episode. Hopefully it was good. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you in episode 77.